On today's episode of MotoCheez.
Check this out, boys. Everybody's been raving about these, so I had to get my hands on one. It's a 5 kilowatt 12 volt diesel fuel heater by maXpeedingrods. And it is getting cold up here in Connecticut, so let's see what comes in the box. I've never done one of these before. I've never even seen one in person. Looks like the fuel tank for automotive applications. The heater unit. The rest of the accessories to get this installed. So it looks like a pair of maXpeedingrods gloves, wiring harness with a 15 amp fuse. I assume this is the muffler. Looks like a few vents for the ducts. A T. This is a piece that you go through your vehicle with, that you connect your fuel line to. Looks like a water filter, air filter, hose clamps, screws and other clamps, fuel pump. Looks like an extra screen, a wrench, and some kind of cleaning or grabbing tool, fuel hose, heater duct, air duct, exhaust pipe, the mounting plate. Probably came out of this box. Some heat wrap, thermostat, control panel, and wireless control, infrared. Something in the tank here. Mounting screws and fuel connector for the bottom of the tank. Definitely want to clean that imperfection from when it was cast in a mold. The Spanish novel, the Manual. 78-page manual, multilingual. What do you think, Ismo? Getting cold out? I know. Switch off heater before refueling. Do not cut off electric power during operation. Do not use heater in closed and or unventilated places. Do not start the heater with a cigarette lighter. Place exhaust outlet outside to prevent ingress of exhaust fumes. Seal all gaps between mounting plate and car body. Keep away from fuel tanks, compression tanks, fire extinguishers, clothes, and other flammable objects. Has an overheating sensor, temperature sensor. This heater, which is a MXR-1F, runs on 12 volts. It says a fuel pump at 12 volts will pump 22 milliliters. That's a 9-liter fuel tank. This does come with a Bluetooth app. Yeah, it's exciting, right, Gizmo? Starting power is 9 to 11 amps. Operating consumption is 1 to 3 amps. That's not too bad. So I think I might mount this to, say, a piece of plywood, and it could be a portable heating unit, and it'd be a great way to see how this thing operates, looking at all the components while it's operating. This is probably a muffler for the exhaust if you don't want it loud. but it does not show it in here. So I think I'll use this piece of plywood, cut this board down into a square. We'll mount this toward the bottom. Could be a Frankenstein abomination, but I want to see this thing work. And of course we can always remove this and put it into something. There's our mounting board. This is the through plate that would go through the floor of your vehicle. Use that brake I got with Jeffro. Bend that and screw that to there so that this could be mounted like that. I'd put it in that microvan, but that microvan is a microvan. There's no room. Just like this. I thought these cost a lot more than they do, actually. They're pretty reasonably priced. Looks like a 10mm. Of course, has like a nice small rubber gasket to keep it somewhat airtight. Looks like they put a little tiny air hole there for something off the side of the gasket. It is a 10mm. Put this on this side to counterbalance it a little bit. You have to shut it off anyway to refill. Let's clean this connection up a little bit. That's all it took, just a little bit. Make sure you put that little O-ring. Definitely don't over tighten this. Looks straight. By eye construction. So it looks like they put the filter first, the fuel pump second, then we'll do the harness and the fresh air and exhaust. It looks intimidating because all the parts, but it's actually pretty simple. This is directional. In is on the right, out is on the left. I guess we could put it low like that. And that's how you drain that when you get water in there, if you get water in there. The fuel pump comes with a nice little rubber sound dampener. This, of course, is directional 2. The output is on the connector side. Nice positive style connector here. It's not weatherproof. There's no O-rings. But it does have a nice positive lock. That's the 12-volt part. That's the thermostat. And this is for the fuel pump. Nice release for that too. That indeed is weatherproof. It's got a rubber gasket. We won't be needing this because we're not going through the floor of a vehicle. So we'll save that. Took up some fuel line here. Comes with these type of spring-loaded clamps. Pretty tight fit. Get it all the way up on there if you can. Jeez, that's the hardest part so far. Very tight.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.
If you have manly strength, you don't need pliers. That's right, I said it. A little spit lube. I know, I know. This is supposed to be PG rated, isn't it? Redneck engineer in there, boys. These didn't come with the kit, but I have them so I can keep the wires neat. That's sharp. Alright, so the front hole is exhaust and the back hole is intake. That's not what she said. Oh. Boy, they got this calculated pretty good, huh? Even have metal tie wraps. Fresh air. Alright, that's fresh air intake. Fans blowing that way. This is the exhaust. That's the way she goes, boys. They don't give any kind of mount for this either, which is weird. I popped the back off and you're not supposed to do that. I think they'd give you two-sided tape or some kind of a mount. So in the directions it says that fuel pump should be maximum 45 and minimum 30 degree, and has a maximum of 2,000 millimeter lift. I will try it. If we have problems, I'll lengthen this hose. Maybe it'll be good. I turn this on. It's in Chinese. Voltage setting is correct. Fan speed, fan mode. So in a shutdown state, I'm going to shut this off. Hold that button, the settings button. Enter the language setting mode. Press up or down to display the 3 languages available. Press the OK to complete. That's power, that's up, that's OK, that's down. It's 12 volt. PO. PO is, I don't know what PO is. Then you got fan mode. Fan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5's the highest, so we'll do the highest. RU. So that's language. Canadian English. So voltage, PO. We got voltage, language, and fan speed. That's all they show here. I don't know what PO is, but if you go in, it says 2,000, 5,000. Mount this up here. That'll work. Nice waterproof connector there too. We're ready for some diesel, boys. So there's a manual pump operation. In shutdown state, long press the up and down at the same time for 2 seconds. The LCD will show oil, and then it'll automatically switch into operating state. In manual pump mode, long press up and down button for 2 seconds to exit. Let's try it from there. No leaks. Up and down key at the same time. Oil. And then it says oil, but it's not pumping. It says 000 meter. Power on the device. So if I power on the device, there we go. Now it's detecting my elevation. So it'll look like it might work. Now it's going to try to prime, I think. Wow, it's going to take a while. So it's showing a power icon and a pump icon. I need a little more than that. Almost there. 2/3. Gotta do it one more time, I think. I gotta see this fill up with oil. One more time should do it. I see these bubbles dancing around, but they're not doing anything. Not till I see solid. Oh, here we go. Here it comes. Finally, now I should be able to fill this up here. Yeah, I can hear it getting in there. There we go. Oh, I hear it. It is warming up a little. Oh yeah, it's getting warm. Turn it on. I want to say 0 volts. I gotta wait for the elevation to come up. So in other words, if it doesn't know your elevation, apparently this unit will not run. It does have a problem with it not reading the elevation. Pulled on this wire, and as you could see, it's not snapped in. See if I could bend these tabs a little bit more out so they'll catch. There. That's a good positive lock. I don't know if you heard it click. All the rest of them are seated nice. Lock that back in place. Put the fuse back in. Boy, fingers are crossed. Ah, and it's working. Looks like it's gonna work. So it's heating up the glow plug in there, or the igniter, right now. Now the pump just kicked on, which is right there. I feel heat coming out of here, out of the exhaust. I can smell it, so let me open this door a little. It's definitely heating up. That's heating up. Well, that was a simple fix. Woo, there's some heat coming out of there now. Oh yeah, that gets hot. This is still cool to the touch. Oh yeah. It's getting hot too. Fan's picking up. Oh yeah, that's blowing some good hot air now. Wow, look at that. Burning the heat off the heat tape. Wow, that's hot. Yeah, so you definitely don't want anything touching that exhaust pipe or that exhaust line. Almost can't hold your hand on it. The wife's going to be complaining tonight. We have this set at, I put it down to 24 degrees Celsius. Still a little bit of smoke coming off. Oh yeah, that's hot. C must be the combustion chamber. That says 224 Celsius. H must be the heater part, 267. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, H 5.1. But I have it set at 24 Celsius. Definitely can't hold your hand in front of it for too long. Bluetooth isn't on. If you hit this again, turns that Bluetooth symbol on. Let's see if we can get this connected to the app. I think I gotta do it with the power off. Wife's gonna kill me. So we're gonna shut it off. Imagine this is going to have a cool down period. Ooh, that's still blowing some pretty good heat. Wow. I imagine that aluminum block holds heat for quite a while. Alright, so the igniter is off and just the pump is on. So this thing should start cranking up pretty soon here. Pumping good heat out. That right now is the fan level at bottom bar. Almost up to max. Alright, we're up to max fan right now. There are 5 different fan settings if you don't want it to be blowing loudly. Oh yeah, pumping pretty good. I might just heat my metal garage out there. Put a little dot. Once the unit's actually running, it doesn't take too much power. When that igniter is on, it uses quite a bit of power, a few more amps. I can feel that heat all the way over here. Seems to be working pretty good. So I was told that the newer phones may not be able to see the Bluetooth on this in the app. Try to do it from here. So we got to look up parking electric. Open the app. Agree. But you have to make an account. Log in. Got it. Add device. Needs permissions, which is location. So I'll do while using the app. That one's there. Parking heater added. So they're going to have to update the app because my newer S22 Ultra will not detect it. Maybe when I sign back into it, it will be. So let's see what it does. Power's not on, so I guess it has to be on to work. Now that I found it, let's see if it shows up on my account. Oh, look at that. Shows it's there, but Bluetooth icon is up. That shows it's in my account, but it won't work it. Let's go out in the garage. We'll leave it on this, set it on the floor. There's plenty of fresh air, so I won't bother ducting the exhaust out right now. But yeah, we'll give it a shot out there. This is an 18 by 21 carport that I enclosed. As you can see, there's plenty of air and a bird nest. 76 vet, we're putting a performance motor my son and I built. I'll probably throw some quick video together later on. I don't have a real thermometer, but it says it's about 54 degrees here. We'll move it over here so it's not over the heat. Looks like about 54. But I was thinking of putting that heater up here, mounting everything on the wall, or I could leave it as a portable heater like this, put an exhaust out the back. That might be another option, possibly better. It's 54, an 18 by 21 steel non-insulated carport with doors that aren't really sealed, so let's see what it does. Let's see if this app works too. It says shell temperature 18 degrees Celsius. Working status heater. As you can see, the igniter is on. Pulling that little tractor battery down to like 10.8, 11 volts. The fan is on. Not quite medium, about a third of the way. Our elevation is showing, our Bluetooth is on, and that's why we're showing this. I just heard the pump kick on. I hear the heater kicking on. I hear the exhaust coming out a little. I have plenty of ventilation in here. Should be 25 Celsius, which I believe is about 75 when I looked it up. Oh yeah, a little heat's coming out. Let it run for a little bit. The time is 12:59, so it's almost 1 o'clock. Pumping a little heat now. As soon as that igniter goes off, and you know you got a good flame going. There we go. That's pumping faster. Let's see if we can heat it up in here. Oh yeah, getting some heat now. If this works out here, I'll probably put a hole in the wall. Definitely should pump that out because it's carbon monoxide. Yeah, I could put a little hole with a pipe and then just push it to it. Probably should make it come up a little higher too, so it's not right on the ground outside. We're at full fan force. Doesn't look like it moved that temperature yet, but it's got to fill the heat up and come down, don't forget. Definitely nice and warm. Believe it or not, I can actually feel the difference. So what do you guys think? Should I mount it permanent here or reinforce my little portable heater board and just make an exhaust I can slide it up to? I kind of like the idea of being able to take that somewhere if I have to. See if I can find some more of that small exhaust pipe, because anywhere I go I can just run that outside. It does get hot. And I'll put it on there so the cold doesn't transfer to that tube. Let's see, it's been 10 minutes, it's 1:10. Definitely feels like it's warming up in here now. I see you can change the temperature unit to Fahrenheit right in this app. So it shows shell temperature is 420, 39, H 5.1, about 12 volts. I don't have anything on it, no charger. C combustion chamber, 218. H is 206, that's the housing. 45, 36. Still showing Celsius there, I must just convert it for the app. It's been 15 minutes. Oh yeah, it's warming it up in here. Almost 58. So it's been 26 minutes. Getting close to 60 degrees, 58 degrees. It's 38 degrees outside today, so I don't think that's too bad. So it's been 38 minutes, just about 60 degrees. Yeah, let's see what the gauge is doing. Still about 11.9, 11.8 volts. 12. That little tractor battery's holding up. So I've run this unit a little bit over an hour. I put a mark while it was inside. So it used about a half an inch in over an hour. So, you know, maybe a half an inch an hour, but it's running at full blast, don't forget. Guess that's not too bad. You'd get, what, 24 hours out of that, maybe? Exactly a half an inch. So if that was full to the brim, it looks like you'd get 24 hours non-stop running full blast. Of course, once it's up to temperature, it's only going to kick on when it needs it. Might as well do the dimensions now. Overall length is 15 inches. The width looks like 6 inches. And the height is 6 inches from the plate. Looks like I'm going to need about a 1-inch pipe for that exhaust. It's doing pretty good for a non-insulated garage, I would say. If I was working in here, I could probably take my jacket off. So I think it's a pretty neat and expensive setup. It has the automatic elevation, which is a problem on these cheaper heaters because you got to adjust what mixture it gets. This will automatically adjust a mixture of fuel at whatever elevation you're at, so that's pretty good for a less expensive model. It's a pretty decent unit, I think. It's built pretty good. The only other thing I think they should give you is maybe two-sided tape in the box, because I don't know how they expect you to mount that. But yeah, I've been wanting to test one of these out for a while. A lot of people were talking about it. They were saying put it in that van, but I mean, there's no room in that van. To put this in that van, I'd probably have to do away with a bunch of stuff that's in the bottom of this box. I already have my backup battery in there. That would end up having to be bigger because there's really no other place to put it. Not quite enough room. There's not enough room to get it under here. And this is such a small area, that little propane heater works perfect. Yes, you could definitely build a bigger box and put that in here, but I think that is probably too big for this. I'll probably heat this thing up in about 2 minutes. So that's why I didn't put it in my micro van. So it's almost 2 o'clock. We'll wait till 2. It looks like we're just breaking a little over 60. And that's my little Flir 1 I use for the temperature. A little heat coming off of that pipe. Heating on my wall pretty good. Definitely got to put an exhaust out. Alright, another hour has passed. It's almost 3 o'clock, 2:58. Now it actually went down a little bit, but it is cooling off outside. So it won't quite handle this area. It's windy out. I don't know if you can see the trees, but in a van or even a small camper, definitely be able to do it. Yeah, we lost a few degrees, but so did we outside. Had it up to 60. So we used a little bit over an inch in 2 hours. That's not bad. So an inch for 2 hours, roughly, if it's running all the time. So we'll shut this down and put a timer on it. See how long it takes to shut itself off. So I have a link down below for this, with a discount code, of course, if you're looking for one. And a I saw a little amber come out of there. Difference between this and having a propane catalytic heater is propane will actually put moisture inside your vehicle, doing its final cool down. And a catalyst heater, you don't have a thermostat, of course. At least to take the chill off in here, because just turning that off, I could feel it cooling off in here already. And that's how long it takes to shut down, cool off, and evacuate the fumes. Alright, I did confirm with maXpeedingrods that the PO mode, pretty crappy outside today. Anyway, the PO mode is in fact 2000 and 5000. Default is 2000. Doesn't state anywhere in the manual, but she says that they are going to update the manual because it's missing a few things that I mentioned. So let's try this out. So let's hold the settings button. It's set at 2000. We're going to go to 5000. Double check it again. 5000. And it's cold. Let's see how cold it is in here. About 38 degrees in here. I hope that battery holds up. Down to 10.3 running. I have a 300 cranking amp tractor battery I'm using for tests. I've already done the startup mode several times for you guys, so you don't have to go through that. See if it puts out any more output. I'm sure it's going to use more than double the fuel, but it's going to have more than double the output. Might be able to keep this out here in the garage after all. So the last full run we did on a fully charged battery on that 300 cranking amp tractor battery. But once the igniter shuts off, it jumps back up to 12 volts or close to it, because it is quite a draw to run that igniter. The igniter shut off, so we're back up to 11.8 volts. Full fan speed now. The fuel pump is pumping at 5.1. It is heating up pretty good. Brought it up to 40. It's cold in here, boys. So I got out here at 8:25. It's 8:32 now. We're right at 40 degrees. So it's been almost an hour. I left it running. It's 44 degrees it brought it up to. 318 degrees. So honestly, switching it from the 2K to the 5K output didn't seem to make much of a difference. We checked the fuel at 9:30, but it did warm it up in here. 5.1 on the fuel pump, and the battery's still holding. So it does seem to heat a little hotter, but I wouldn't say it was double. So it's been an hour exactly. Looks like we're at 50 degrees in here. We'll let it run one more hour. Well, I come out here. It says E01. So E1 is indeed under voltage. So we got about 4 hours on that little battery. So it didn't shut off too long ago. So we used 2.5 inches of fuel. Last time we used maybe 1 1/16. So it does use more fuel in the 5,000 BTU setting. So it does draw some current, boys. I'd recommend a backup battery with an isolator if you're going to keep this permanently mounted. Of course, if you have a diesel truck, you usually have plenty of battery power. 10:39. So we lost a little time. Still at like 50 degrees. I would do one more hour. Still running. It's got it up to 60 in here. Definitely feels warmer. 11:47. About 3 1/4 inches. Seems to be working better. We'll check back in another hour. Alright, another hour has passed. It is colder out today than it was yesterday when I did the test on the 2000 mode. Looks like we're stuck at 60 degrees. Where yesterday it actually dropped a little. But it is colder out today, so we're at 3 3/4 inches. So it definitely uses a little more fuel. I'd say it does output more on 5,000. Not more than double, but it definitely outputs more. We'll shut her down, boys. I mean, there's no insulation in here. There's a lot of air gaps. It'd probably do up to a 24-foot camper. Oh, saw some sparks come out again. No, some more sparks. Must be almost like a cool down self-cleaning mode. Let me show you how this looks inside. Pop this off. And that comes off. Fairly easy to work on. Got your little igniter, temperature sensors. That's your main board, your fan, which is balanced, I see. Pretty cool little unit. And that's it. Pretty simple. So if you're looking for a cheap diesel heater for about 200 bucks, pretty good bargain. maXpeedingrods backs up their products pretty good. I didn't even know they sold diesel heaters. Had a couple of you guys on Instagram even say the same thing. So yeah, for like a small bus or an RV, even like an enclosed trailer, if you want to have some heat in there, small shed, hunting cabin, a little bit of insulation goes a long way too. So beside that one connection issue, this thing runs pretty good. I'm satisfied with it. Thanks for watching the Cheezy's channel on YouTube and Rumble.
Hey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Hit that bell if you want new notifications on new videos. Links for products used are in the description and on MotoCheez.com. Thanks for watching.